time for the webinar. Thank you guys, everyone who's here. My name is Angelica Dizelle from angelicadizelle.com. Let me know, guys, in the chat. I see some of you are already reaching out. Hi, guys. Welcome in. Let me know down in the chat if you guys can hear me and if you can see the opening screen for my webinar. That would be awesome. I want to make sure that you guys can see me and we can get started on the content and everything. Let me just show myself here real quick. Hey, guys. Happy Sunday. Hope everybody's doing awesome. Again, this is the Make Your Website Irresistible training, and I'm really excited to share this content with you guys. I'm so happy that you all are here, and I won't keep you too long, but I want to make sure that I give some awesome content and also answer your questions and everything at the end. So I'm really looking forward to that. I keep the chat box on my iPad here, so if I'm looking down at the iPad, I'm just saying hello. So hi from Texas. I see we have Anonymous from Texas. We have a couple of hellos in here. I see Anita Chantia. Let me know if that's right. I see Judy. Hi, Judy. And I also see hello, Karen. Hi. So guys, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to get right into the content. Again, this is about how to make your website irresistible. I'm going to be giving the tips that I use in everyday building websites for clients and things like that. So I'm really excited to share it, like I said. So I'm going to share my screen here real quick. Let's share. All right, guys. And everybody let me know if you all can see that there. If you all can see the opening slide of my webinar. Make your website irresistible with me, Angelica Dizelle. So welcome, you're in the right place. If you have a website for your business or you're in the process of building one, you need help planning and building that effective website, or maybe you're looking to optimize your site for more leads. These are all big things here. Let me check the chat here real quick. Yes, okay, good, you guys can see me. All right. So who am I? My name is Angelica, and I'm a web designer and Luxe brand strategist. So I help female entrepreneurs ditch the website shame and create a brand and website that truly reflects their vision and turns their ideal clients into customers. So we're going to be talking a lot about that second part, turning your ideal clients into customers. Breaking down what we're going to talk about today. Creating an irresistible website begins with a focused breakdown of who you're serving and how they want to be served. We're going to go through the process of determining those things today, and it all starts with, you guessed it, your ideal client. So put some major thought into the kind of clients you want to serve. Hi, Rhonda from St. Louis. Put some major thought into the kind of clients you want to serve. The goal of your site is to make it feel like it was made for them. They want to get on this site and be like, I finally found it. This is the place I want to be. When your ideal client visits your site, what is their state of mind? So when I say state of mind, I mean, what are their pain points? They came to you for a reason. It's because they have a problem that they need solved. So what are their pain points and what solutions are they looking for to solve those? I see Eva's here. Thank you, Eva Ponce from New Jersey. Thank you for being on here, my mastermind sister. So position yourself as the solution to these pain points that they have. How can you make your site a breath of fresh air for your ideal clients? What I say is use their pain points in your copy and solve that $1 million problem that they have. So those pain points that we're talking about, every client that comes on your site, they have that problem that they are ready to pay money for. So you need to identify that problem and make sure that you are pointing it out when you are selling to them. Here's some examples of those $1 million problems. Something like, I want to lose the baby weight before year's end. Or maybe I'm building a business and I have no clients. Or I don't understand social media marketing and I need someone to help me. These are the type of problems that people are going to pay money to solve, and you need to identify what your ideal client's major problem is. So the first way that I do that is through your value statement. And when I say your value statement, it is I am a blank who does blank for blank. This is what you are and what you do. So for example, on my site is I'm a web designer and Luxe brand strategist who builds bombshell brands for fierce female entrepreneurs. That's my value statement, and I put it high up on my website. People need to know your value statement within seconds of logging into your site. I always say they need to know who you are, so that includes what you look like, what you do, and who you do it for, and how they can engage with you. So when I say how they can engage with you, that can mean how can they work with you, or how can we just begin this process of client nurturing, how they want to know who you are. The first way that I do that is through your freebie, of course. Hi, Robin from Atlanta, another one of my mastermind sisters in here. Welcome. So your freebie. This is one of the most important parts of your site because list building is so vital. So you want to have that freebie that when people get on your site, they want to be a part of it. They want to download it. I say to take that $1 million problem and solve it in a small, free way. So think quick wins here. How can you solve a small problem very quickly so that you can show your expertise? This should be something that is easily digestible, like a PDF, a video, audio recording, something where people can come away with a win, come away knowing something that they didn't know before, which is what I say here. They should walk away with new information. The mission is to show your value and your expertise. So you want them to come away from this like, wow, that person really knows their stuff. I wonder what their paid content is like if the free stuff is this good. Another note on your freebie is to put a lot of thought into the title of your freebie. So I like to say that brand your freebie just like you brand your paid packages, and make sure that it promises a big payoff. So don't be shy about your value. Here's some examples. For this webinar, the title is Make Your Website Irresistible. I'm not being modest about it. I'm not saying this is a website optimization webinar, because not as many people would sign up if you just do brass tacks. You have to kind of punch up the title and brand it. Another example is something like become a client magnet. Use these phrases to make sure that you are playing up your value. I say don't be lukewarm like free business guide or something like that. I love having a visual representation of my freebie. As you can see the example on the other side of the text here. I think when people can see something slightly tangible of what they get, it makes the freebie a little bit juicier. That's called a mock-up. And there are tons of free mock-up templates online, but you do need Photoshop to create them. So you can either hire a designer, you can use a website like Fiverr so that someone can just do that small project for you. You can also make things like this in Canva, but they don't have like the real true to life iPad or the real true to life iMac. They might have an illustration of one that you can put your images behind, but it just wouldn't quite be the same. But I say any start is good about creating a visual representation of what you do. A quick tip to get more clicks on your freebie: if you can, use a clickable button with a download now incentive that pops up in the sign-up form. It's called a two-step opt-in. I'm going to explain this better. According to Lead Pages, these forms get 30% more sign-ups than an obvious form on your site. So I'm going to explain what that is with a quick demo. Okay, so I'm going to hop out of the presentation view, and we're just going to hop over here to my Squarespace site. And so the first one, I'm going to show you what a basic sign-up form. This is my Squarespace site here. I'm going to create a basic sign-up form. So in Squarespace, I go over here to newsletter, and you can see the form starting up right there. I can add that I want to require the name field. You can see it coming together right there. With Squarespace, it's super easy to link up with MailChimp. So if that's your mail service provider, you just log into MailChimp. Okay. And I now use ConvertKit, so this is my old MailChimp. But yeah, I would just select the list I want people to sign up for. Let's say it's the Squarespace Masterclass, and I would just apply. So that is the typical sign-up form that you see. So the person already knows right away that you're going to ask for their email address. A two-step opt-in, on the other hand, would just be a button that pops up into a form. Squarespace does that through the form block. So we used newsletter before. This time we're using form. So for the form block, I just eliminate the subject, and because all we need is the name and email address here, you see? And I would name the form like freebie sign up. You could be more creative if you wanted to be there. And storage, I would do the same. Send it to MailChimp and log in. All right, I would choose the list that I want it to go to. And under advanced, this is where we're going to turn this from a form into a button. If you scroll down, you see Lightbox mode. And if I click enable Lightbox mode, the entire form becomes a button that would pop up if I click on it. So you can even change what the button says if you want to say something like, send it to me now. I like active phrases like that. Send it to me now, you know, something like that. So now you have a Lightbox, and you can also customize what's up on the screen after the person signs up. So if you want to say, thank you, please check your email to confirm, you can type that in. You can center the button, and you can even choose what the button says when the person enters their name and email address, what that button says. So I'm going to say something like, I'm in. I'm in. Apply. So I'm going to save that. And typically I have to reload the page to let those things go into effect. But the result will be, you see the difference between a regular sign-up form here and then one where you have to click a button and then your email address form pops up. You see? So Lead Pages says that the pop-up forms are 30% more effective. And I think it's because, you know, sometimes people get on the site and they're like, I'm not giving my email address, you know? And if you can just get them to be open to opting in by pushing that button, taking an action, then they might choose to give you their email address as opposed to just knowing right off that it's going to be asked for. So that is what a two-step opt-in is. And that's something that Lead Pages encourages. It's something that you can also do in Squarespace without using Lead Pages. So back to the content here. All right, so your offerings. That's the next thing we're going to talk about, another way that you can call people to action. So now that your visitor knows who you are, they may want to know how they can work with you. Make that easy by giving them tabs or boxes of kind of what you offer. We're talking mostly about the home page. So how can you just kind of make this something simple and easy for people to grasp and figure out what you offer, how to work with you? Mine on my website are design services, coaching, and self-study. Judy, you said the screen is dark. Let me know, guys, if anybody else's screen is dark on the webinar. I'm not sure what to do on a dark screen. I just turned on my brightness. But so yeah, mine are design services, coaching, and self-study. Okay. Hello, Karen said she sees it fine. Okay, good, thanks. Maybe you might need to turn up your brightness. Good. So consider offering multi-tiered services at different price points. I like this, especially as I moved forward in business. You know, when I first started, I just had my design services, but as time goes on, you want to offer multi-tiered ways for people to work with you so you can eliminate that price objection. You know, there's some people who's like, I would love to work with you, but I can't afford this. Well, then you can have multiple tiers where people can work with you on different levels. And that also allows some room for you to get some passive income out of that. So I'm going to explain offerings, multi-tiered offerings here with this little graph that I put together. So on the first level, this is the lowest barrier to entry. This is a passive income product for under $100. So you could repackage a masterclass or a webinar, or you could expand your freebie and sell it as a tripwire, anything that's just a smaller, lower end price item. So especially for people who just want to get introduced to you before they actually pay. So I like that a lot, and it's a good way to have passive income. A tripwire, by the way, is something that you sell after the person downloads your freebie. Maybe you take them to a page and say, thanks for downloading the freebie. Would you like to buy this $29 masterclass or something, which is something that I do on my website. So if your service, tier 2 would be courses or small scale work. So if your service can be taught in a self-study type of thing, consider packaging it up into a course. Offering strategy sessions or intensives in a lower cost range, $200 to $600. And I'm not a pricing expert or anything. You can charge, you know, whatever you feel is right. But I do just mean something in the mid-tier where maybe people want to get on the phone with you for an hour or 90 minutes and kind of power through something. That's like a good way to offer a lower tier scale of work. And then tier 1 are your signature packages. So this is the whole shebang. The customers pay your premium price to get your individualized, you know, custom time and attention. So for me, that's, you know, the full shebang web design package. So having these tiers are a good way to just kind of get people open to working with you, even if they're not ready to go for the full shebang yet. So I want to talk a little bit about your signature packages, that top tier there. Let's go back to the idea that your ideal client has $1 million problem. You want to explore the different facets of that problem and the ways that you can be a weight off of their shoulders. So the best way to do this is through surveys and ideal client interviews. So if there's a type of client that you know that's the kind of client that you would love to work with, see if you can offer them, a free session in exchange for an interview where you can just talk to them about what their pain points are, what their biggest problems are, and listen, pay attention to their language, how they describe their problems, and use those to formulate your offerings. Ideal surveys are the same. So if you have people on your email list, you can email them with a survey to ask them what are the things that they need the most. What kind of content are they looking for you? These are just really important because you never know what those people are looking for, especially when we kind of get into our entrepreneur bubble, like my designer bubble. Sometimes you think everybody knows how to do a certain thing or everybody knows something, but they don't necessarily know it. And these interviews help you figure that out. So more notes on your signature package. I want to give an example of how I did this with mine. So in my services, I found that my clients needed more than just pixels and code to make money. They needed more than just a website. They needed strategy behind it. So they needed a designer who was going to help them build a brand with their ideal client in mind every step of the way. And they needed help with list building strategy. So things like coming up with your irresistible freebie and how to actually put all that together. The ones and twos of how does MailChimp link with lead pages, link with Squarespace, link with everything that I use. So I wanted to bundle all that together into a package. So I started covering all those bases with my signature package. You can see in the example image on the side there that I segmented the things that the package includes into branding, website, and strategy. So you can see the things that fall under each category. So I wanted people to see that this was more than just a website. I'm going to help you create your opt-ins. I'm going to design them for you, set up all the connections so that the emails go out on time. Because I found that these were things that people didn't know how to do. And to bundle that into the package, it allows the package to be, some people use the phrase business in a box or a weight off of your shoulders. How can this just be the total package of what they need from you? So here are some actionable items based on what we just talked about. So based on today's content, write out 2 to 3 principal goals of what you want people to do on your site. Typical goals include sign up for a freebie, view my services, apply for a discovery session. Remember that you should be pushing at least one of these goals on every page. Hi, I see we have another visitor in. Welcome. So lead the ideal journey that you want visitors to take on your site. And we're going to go through a little diagram about how I lead that journey of where I want people to take these specific actions. So here's the journey. Starting on the home page, I am immediately calling them to action by, not only telling them who I am with my value proposition, but I'm also saying, sign up for my freebie right away. I want people to immediately be on the site and be like, wow, I think I could, vibe with this. Let's get the process started now. Sign up for my freebie, see what I do, and we can kind of feel each other out. So let's say they don't want to do that. They don't want to sign up for the freebie. They don't want to get their email address. Well, as you scroll down the home page, you also have opportunities to check out my services. So I have three areas of how you can work with me. So that's the next step for people to be able to check that out. And let's say they choose to click on one of those, like my design services. Then they can apply for a session. So you can see on my design service page, if you were to scroll down, there would be an opportunity to sign up for a session to chat with me about my services and what I can do to help you. So it's leading people to that next step, the steps that I want them to take. And the final step is goal met, of course. They apply for a session, they're taken to that page, and then we can get on the phone and chat about working together. So that's just one example of a journey. I mean, there's so many journeys on my site based on how people come to me, because some people like to go to the about page first. They want to see what that person is about. So make sure your about page has calls to action. It shouldn't just end with who you are. Make sure you're calling people to the next step, whether that's whatever's most important to you, whether that's viewing your services, applying for a session. Make sure you're leading that journey and don't ever leave the person hanging, because that's when people will just drop off. I lead this journey typically with buttons, images, those kind of things, etc. And guys, if you have any questions, if you guys are with me, just let me know. So here's a secret. If you want visitors to do something on your site, Just ask them. And this is one of the, it would seem like a simple tip, but a lot of people don't even think about this. You don't have to be coy about your value. I always hear people say, if you find an awesome product in a store, you can't wait to tell all your friends about how great it was. Well, if your services are great, then make sure you're telling people and make sure you're asking for them to do the actions that you want them to do. So when it's all said and done, I have 9 calls to action on my homepage alone, because it's all about calling to action. The first one is the announcement bar at the top, which I customize with whatever is most important. Right now, the announcement bar is my webinar, to get people to sign up for it, and so on. I have a freebie sign up right in the header, like we talked about. I have a work with me button after the quick intro. I have 3 calls to action for coaching services, courses, and design right out in front. I have an opportunity to view my portfolio so people can check that out. I also have a place for them to apply for a discovery session. And then in the pre-footer area, which this is something in a Squarespace site, you have a customizable area that's a pre-footer that's at the bottom of every page on your site. So I also have a last opportunity for the person to sign up for my freebie in the pre-footer. So think about calls to action and make sure that people aren't leaving your homepage without taking an action. And if they're not taking action, it's not going to be because you didn't ask them to. So that's very important. Let's talk a little bit about landing pages. I'm going to take a quick sip of water here. Alrighty. So landing pages. Start to think about the different ways that people will encounter your business for the very first time. Sometimes that experience needs to be very focused and actionable. So think Instagram clicks. Maybe perhaps the person sees your brand for the first time on Instagram and they want to click your link in bio. So a lot of times this landing pages allow for you to cut down all the distractions and get the viewers focused on one thing. And typically that thing is to sign up for your freebie. The image on the side here is an example of a landing page. This is a Squarespace landing page that I did for just my freebie website optimization guide. So people can click and download. It's very easy because you think about, especially social media visitors on your site, they're on a phone or they're on the go. So they don't have time to go to your main homepage and kind of rustle through everything that's going on there. So a landing page is super focused and people are more likely to take an action when they just have no distractions, especially being on the go. So I would say, capture the lead now so you can nurture them later. All right, it's another demo time. So I wanted to do a quick bonus where I just go through creating a landing page in Squarespace. I wanted to show you guys how absolutely easy it is. Oh, good. I'm glad you like the fast pace. If I'm too fast, let me know. So I want to create a landing page on Squarespace just to show you that this is like a less than 10-minute process. And it's really awesome. So what I'm going to do, I'm here in the back end of my Squarespace site. I'm going to create a new page. And the pages up here are the pages that are in my menu at top. So I want to go to the pages that are not linked, which means they're just not in my menu. They're still a part of my site. So I'll click the plus sign and I'm going to create what's called a cover page. Squarespace does cover pages and I'm just going to name it testing. And yay, good. Straight to the point. I know you guys got things to do on Sunday night. There's a lot of TV premiering tonight, isn't there? So I'm going to just enable the page. Squarespace has a step where you have to enable the page before you get started. And this is just the quick page that they've already created. So we can basically customize everything about this, from the image in the back to the logo and all those kind of things. I'm going to do that really quickly. Let's say we want to start it with my logo. I'm just going to put my logo in here. There we go. Which I just created a new logo with my rebrand. And there it is there. You can change to whatever you want here. So if you have free website, there's that. And then maybe you want to put some additional information about what they get. That would just be whatever you list out, There's someone here. Thank you. I'm glad you love the rebrand. I had a blast putting it together. So basically, I'm having a brain fart, but yeah, you can put whatever you want here, explaining what the freebie is about, and type that out. And I'll hit save here and go back. We can also, media is the large image in the back here. So let's say I want to use, and I'm just going through my images on my site. Let's say, I'm just going to grab this one real quick, and it's going to show up as the whole background image here. There's that, and we can change the dark color that's over it right now. And action. So action is what the buttons do. So let's say you want people to sign up for your freebie. So the action button is going to be a form right here. And the form, let's say we give it a sign me up. Notice we have two buttons right now. We have the one up here and the form. So we can trash this button and get rid of the words there. Okay. And we'll edit the form just like we did with the form in the previous demo. Just get rid of the message, get rid of the subject, call this free, whatever you want to call that there. Freebie PDF, link it with MailChimp, and choose the list that it's going to. And don't need to do much with this. If you want to change the submit button, I want it to say I'm in. And this is just like the process we did with the previous demo. You can also say, if you want to say thank you, check your email to confirm, you can change that and hit save. So now this button will pop up into an email sign up form. You can see that there. So the last part is my favorite part. That's the style, because we get to make it cute and on brand and all that. So you're able to change, like I noticed there's an auto overlay right now. You see that their auto overlay color. We want to get rid of that overlay. Custom overlay, I want to make it transparent. So now there's no overlay. We'll also want to, we could change the height of the logo if we want to make it bigger there. I'm gonna make the headline, let's change the color first so we can see it. Make the headline black. Enter. You can also make it to a font that's on brand. And you would do all this the way that your brand goes. So that's my fonts and things. Change the color. And notice how that everything changes over here. We would change the font. All that. So super simple here. What else do we want to do here? The button. Let's say I like a solid. Right now the button is an outline button, so it's like a white outline and white text. I want to make it a solid button. So style, solid. And you notice how it became a solid form instead of an outline button. Let's say I want to change the color of the button to, let me grab my pink. I keep the color code of my pink handy so that I can use it. So notice the color of the button change. The text is black. We could change it if we wanted to. You also have social icons at the bottom. You can have those or not. So that's kind of just a real quick overview of how you can create a cover page. I probably would want my text to be aligned over to the left here so that my face will show up. So, and of course we want some real text here, so that would just fill out there. So yeah, that quickly and that easily we created a landing page. This is something that you could use to get your social audience, your social media audience, right on over to your freebie without having to confuse them or add any kind of extra steps. So that's a quick example of a landing page built in Squarespace. And that's one of my favorite ones so far already. So we're gonna get back into the content one more time. In review here, creating an irresistible website means the focus is all about your ideal client's needs. People buy products when they have a pain point and they're convinced that this product will solve that pain point. It's your job to hammer this idea home and ask for the action that you want visitors to take. If you need help, connect with a branding strategist or designer, possibly like myself. And I have a suggestion for you actually on that front. And I have a question here. I will answer that. I'll answer that question real quick. So I have a suggestion for you here, which is my course, Toastworthy Websites. It's a one-of-a-kind training course that walks you through the process of creating a luxe and lucrative DIY website within a week. This course is for female entrepreneurs who are ready to stop fidgeting with their websites and start making money. For those who can't afford the cost of custom design but are serious about their online presence, or people who've hit a wall with DIY design and need to get up and running fast. You can see an example of what the course interface looks like there. It's built on Teachable, formerly known as Fedora. So I've really enjoyed putting it together. It's an awesome process through how to create a website, and I use an actual client website to do that. So what it includes, day one is all about the inspiration foundation. You're going to create brand mood boards, establish colors and fonts, compile it all into a style guide for consistency. That's the first day. In day two, we get into content planning. So you organize the site copy in a planning worksheet, learn to draw effective mock-ups, so how you're planning your site and drawing it out, and then organizing your assets. So your images, logos, copy, all those things, getting them together. Day three is the Squarespace setup process. So you're going to create an account, connect the domain, choose the design template, and then create a landing page to collect emails. So as soon as day three, you can already have a coming soon page up where you can start collecting emails. And day four is homepage design. So going to get introduced into index pages, which is something that I explain in the site, but it's basically kind of how I create these long form pages with different images, breaking up text, breaking up white space, and that kind of thing. It's a really awesome Squarespace feature. An eye-catching header, so I show the different options on how to create a great header for your site. And then the priority email sign up, making sure that you're calling people to action, having them sign up for your freebie early on, like we talked about today. And then calls to action that work. We're also in day five, we get into the page layout. So we complete the about, the contact, the blog page, and we create an inviting work with me page where we can get people to see the packages and want to buy them, want to sign up for them. We also get into formatting blog posts. And then on day six, we get into the finishing touches. So that's formatting the page footers, making sure those are calling people to action, and just polishing off things on the site. Again, adding those calls to action and hidden spots, and creating launch graphics in Canva so that you can launch the site out. But wait, there are more bonuses today on this webinar that I wanted to offer with this course purchase. So bonus module 7 on top of everything is a freebie design and MailChimp automation setup. So I will show you how to create an eye-catching freebie PDF in Canva and link it up with MailChimp so that your subscribers get it right away. We'll also create mock-ups like the one on the side over there to promote your freebie. No Photoshop needed to create the ones that I put together. So then another fast action bonus for today is a one-on-one session with me. So the first 5 people to sign up for the course by midnight tonight, you see a little timer above the chat box. That's the timer for midnight Eastern tonight. We'll get a 45-minute strategy session with me. So you'll get personalized guidance based on your business goals and your audience. I'll help out with any tech snags that you might be running into on Squarespace and assist you with brainstorming a freebie that will be irresistible to your fans and followers. So here's what you get. 7 guided modules to build your luxe and lucrative website, lifetime access to all the videos and worksheets in Teachable, personal support from me in a private Facebook group. We have a Facebook group for all the people who are in the course, and I'm in there all the time answering questions and offering suggestions and things like that for people. Bonuses are a 45-minute strategy session with me one-on-one. And like I said, and bonus training to build your email list and sales funnel. So that's that bonus module that we talked about. So how much is this worth? I'll be teaching the entire process that I do with my clients in my signature package, which is the Luxe Branding and Web Design. That's a whopping, and that's $3,800 to have that all done by me, hands off by you. For the special offer, I'm offering the Toastworthy Websites program for a special price of $297. You can also do the payment plan, which would be 4 payments of $87, and they're monthly payments. So you can get started with the course for as low as $87. So what happens when you join? You'll receive a course welcome pack, and that you'll immediately be taken to that page after you make the purchase. so you can start laying the groundwork for your amazing site. You'll be invited to join me in a Facebook group where you can ask questions and get any updates on the course and things like that. And then you can start the course immediately. You'll get an email from Teachable where you can immediately log in and start viewing the modules and taking them. And then for all my top 5 people who sign up before midnight, they can start scheduling strategy sessions with me as soon as next week. And you can choose to do it now in the beginning, or you can choose to do it once you've gotten into the modules and if you have more questions or want guidance and things like that. So imagine having a website that you're proud to show off and that, more importantly, gets you clients before the end of the summer on top of all of that. Here's just some examples of websites that I've built and such. And you can do it. I can help. So while you guys think about it, to a Beyonce gif, it's question time. So guys, if you have any questions about the content that I've offered today, or if you have any questions about the offer, please just fill them out in the chat box below. I see we had a question from Kenya, which I'm going to answer. You asked if there are specific dimensions that you need for the background image. So what she's asking about, the last demo I did here with this, we used a large image to be the background image. Typically, I like this image to be about 1,500 pixels wide. Squarespace does not tell you that. The way I know is by going in the code. This is a little complicated, a little bit. Let me know if you guys get confused or anything. But what I do is I right-click and go to inspect. So this is how you look at the code of what's in the back of the site. So when you see what's highlighted, that's what code it's showing you for. So you can see, I'm trying to point at both things, but notice there's a little black box that shows up right here when I go on something. The little black box, it goes away when I click away, but it's there. So you can see that the width of the entire page is 1440 pixels by 500 pixels. So the first number is the width. So I know that the page is 1,400 pixels, and I typically like to make it taller than the minimum there. So I'll make it 1,500 pixels by 700 pixels, and that'll be enough for it to fit in this area and not be blurry. What's the regular price for the Toastworthy course? Well, the regular price is $297. I'm taking the price up to $375 next month, but it doesn't come with these fast action bonuses, the strategy session and the additional course module. Let's see, do you need to have Photoshop to create a website like yours? I have Squarespace and it's not nearly as luxe. There are definitely some things that Photoshop makes this better with, So, but just to show an example, in Toastworthy, in the course that I'm talking about, the site that I created was a real client site. I'm just going to pull it up real quick. And I did not use any Photoshop to build it. So this is the home, the welcome page. So this is the page that I built, and no Photoshop was used to do it. I used some PowerPoint, I used some Canva, but no Photoshop. So you can kind of see that that's the site that was built and without any Photoshop, like I said. Let's see. Does anybody have any other questions in here? Don't be shy. And I'm just going to reload the page real quick. Any questions? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to, I heard something pop up. Can we hire you to do some extras on the site after we take the course? Sure, and that will probably be, if you have the one-on-one session with me, they're probably easier to just get all that ironed out and stuff. But yes, you can hire me along to do any additional fixes that you'd like. Or if you get your website at all and you're looking for a designer, I do have some spaces open in August for full design packages. So you guys can also check that out on my site. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to hop back on the screen here. Can you guys see me? Just saw a question here. Excellent, great. Awesome, guys. Let me make sure you guys can see me here. There we go. Gotta close down a lot of pages to see yourself again. Alrighty, guys. Well, it's been really awesome sharing the content. I want to make sure that I get all your questions answered. So if you have any other questions or anything, I'd love to answer those for you. But again, this is really creating an irresistible website. It's just about knowing who your ideal client is, knowing the problems that they're willing to pay money for, and speaking to those problems throughout your website. Another thing is calls to action. So making sure that whatever action you want to happen, that you're asking for it at every possible opportunity. Don't ever leave people hanging on any page. Always be looking for that action to call people to. Let's see. If no one has any other questions, I'm going to hop off. It's been really awesome being on here with you guys. I want to make sure that you guys can enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening and everything. But I really liked sharing the content. And if you guys are interested again in the course, there is a button at the bottom there where you can sign up for Toastworthy. The first 5 tonight get to have the strategy session with me. So I would love to do that for you guys. Thank you. I'm glad you guys liked it. And be sure to, if you have friends or anything who are interested in this kind of content, to share this webinar. I'd love for you to share it. And it's just, you guys have been a great crowd, and I love doing this. So you guys have an awesome Sunday night, and I'll see you guys later. Make sure. You're welcome. All right. Bye.